100% Chelsea. Hello everyone, I am here with Daniel, son of Chelsea, to preview the game for Southampton. Now, we're coming off the back of a loss. Another one against Porto, and we all know that didn't go well for obvious reasons. But Southampton, different team, different competition. We're back at home at Stamford Bridge. Daniel, what's your overall view going into the game? It's going to be Southampton. Are you confident enough, or are you concerned about anything?
I think my feelings towards the game will be made up by team selection. I think an hour before the game, seeing who's in that team, I think will make up my mind going into the game. I'm kind of a little bit unsure of the. I think that's my honest opinion. I think with other games, you kind of go in with some sort of feeling. At the moment, of course, I'm not feeling overly confident because we've coming off the back of a loss. Of course, due to Newcastle with a kind of bad performance. So I'm kind of a bit unsure. I think it depends, as we were talking about after the Porto game, it depends on who plays in that right back position and what changes, also other changes that are made. I think that depends, and also up front, it's the team selection for me. So that's kind of my opinion. Going into it, of course, playing against a team like Southampton who are very good, got very good technical players. It can be tough, but we can make it a lot easier. Jose can make it a lot easier for us with team selection, I believe.
Well, key elements of that team selection, and we all know where the problems are. How Jose doesn't seem to acknowledge it, I don't know. But Ivanovic is the prime suspect of this Chelsea failure at the moment. He needs to not play. Am I right?
Of course. I don't understand why he's still in the team. The players that have been dropped, like on Tuesday, that didn't deserve to get dropped, have done nothing wrong. But he still stays in the team. It makes no sense. I don't think it matters that he's vice captain. If that's the way Jose feels, then you bring back John Terry. That's the way it is. That's where you fix that problem. And it's causing us goals. We're conceding goals, and I think his performance against Arsenal was very good, but that doesn't make up for every single bad performance he's had this season. It just doesn't. And
it's the only one.
It's the only one he's had, and thank God he turned up for that game. But still, I think he needs to either improve his game, but I just don't think he's good enough to start on Saturday. The form he's in is probably the worst he's been at Chelsea throughout his career. A very good career, but he's showing maybe his age, or he's just out of form like some players are. But I think that's the key problem. I think, of course, we know there are other maybe issues within the team that people want to see change, like central midfield, other stuff. But I think the key problem starts with the biggest one, and that's Ivanovic, and that's changing up, bringing in Azpilicueta over that right back position. Azpilicueta will never get beaten like Ivanovic was on Tuesday for that first goal. I mean, that just won't happen with Azpilicueta. So I feel that is the big issue, and I'm sure all Chelsea fans are worried about that. They don't want to see Ivanovic on that team sheet before 5:30 on Saturday.
And obviously, if we are going to shift Aspi over to the right, then Baba is the one who has to step in at left back. Is that what you would go with from now on? Not just Southampton. We can see how it works against Southampton, but instead of relying on Ivanovic, just have Baba and Aspi. That's the two fullbacks.
You've got to. Baba Rahman, he had a decent game against Tel Aviv and then got dropped for the Arsenal game and hasn't played really since, has he?
No.
So to me, it's it's surprising, and you've got to build a relationship between Aspi and Baba Rahman as fullbacks, so they've got to know which one goes forward, which one stays back, or that also Baba Rahman's got to be used to playing within this Chelsea team. He's only done it once so far this season, and that's against Tel Aviv. He played the full 90 in that game, but he's got to play more. And I think also with pace, I mean, just the ability of Azpilicueta to overlap and help out attacking wise. Azpilicueta helps out attacking wise as a left back, but once he gets there, he can't use his left foot because he's naturally a right back, so he's better with his right foot. And when we saw him play in that right back position against Tel Aviv, he was helping out, he was getting back quickly. Tel Aviv were playing kind of this hit and run formation, which I think Southampton will try and do as well. And teams at the moment, if they see Ivanovic on the team sheet, they'd be stupid not to try and use that as a point of massive weakness for Chelsea and try and exploit that. So I think those two have got to start playing from now on. Ivanovic is maybe get some chances in a League Cup game, but for me, he's played too many bad games, cost us too many goals to still be in this team.
Now, we have to acknowledge Southampton as well. Southampton come from a class of teams in the Premier League that we struggle against, and we've struggled against at home. You look at Swansea, Crystal Palace this season. Southampton are in that area of the league, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised now if they were to come and do us over. How would you approach Southampton?
I think,
you know,
I mean,
would you? Obviously, we want Aspi and Baba to play a bit more pace, but would you go all attacking, or would you say we need to reinforce defensively first?
I think, yeah, definitely look at our team first and try and fix the problems that are there.
Yeah.
Of course, we know Jose is a very tactical manager. He does like to look at the opposition and try and find out where we can exploit them and where we can stop their biggest strengths from affecting us. But, yeah, I mean, they are a very difficult team. We didn't beat them last season. We went away, drew 1-1. They came to our place. They drew 1-1 there. So they haven't had the best start like compared to last year. No. They had a really, really good start. Of course, I think we're close to in the top 4 at this period of the season. So, and had a really good start with Ronald Koeman. Of course, that hasn't happened this season. I've lost a couple of their players again. But they've still got good players. I mean, Graziano Pella, I think he is an underrated striker. I think he is Premier League quality. He's proven that he can be clinical. Mane, who of course was tipped to go to United in the transfer window, I think he is one of, probably for me, like if I was to look at their team, I'd say he is the dictator in their team. You know, he's that number 10 who he scored against us last year, can get in that midfield, dictate the passes, dictate the play. And that's what we really don't want. We've got to be solid in midfield and not allow him to get too much space, because in that number 10 position, if he gets that space, he's just going to be able to pick out passes, let Pella run in behind, and you know we're going to be in all sorts of trouble. So he's kind of, for me, the biggest strength in their team, in my opinion. Yeah, no, that's true. You make good points. To wrap up, team lineup, really quickly. Who would you play against Southampton? How would you form it? I think, of course, Begovic, Azpilicueta. I'd bring Terry back into the team, and I'd probably play Cahill alongside him, because I think that's a strong partnership. I want to see that again. Of course, Zuma had that kind of lapse in concentration against Newcastle, but I'd probably bring Cahill back in if you're going to bring Terry in as well. Yeah. Of course, Baba in left back. You put, for me, Matic and Fabregas in midfield. I'd still play Fabregas? I'd probably still play Fabregas. You've got as I've said, you know, they're separate problems. You could play Loftus-Cheek, actually, funny enough, we were talking about the other night, and maybe bring in Loftus-Cheek. I still sit here and think, I so want Jose to take that risk and put Loftus-Cheek in there. I just want him to. It's like, it'd be a massive statement. I think it'd give us all a massive lift. But I'd say right now, in my team, I'd say Loftus-Cheek, but there's a bit of me that thinks he's still going to go with Fabregas. I'd probably play Pedro out on the right, Oscar in number 10, and I'd even maybe drop Hazard and put Kennedy in there, and of course Falcao up front. That's my team at the moment. I think that one position I'm just not sure on is Fabregas and Loftus-Cheek. I'd love to see Loftus-Cheek start, because I think he deserves it now. Yeah, no, to be fair, I would practically go with the same lineup, including dropping Hazard, because I don't know what's wrong with him. I think he just needs a little break. But you make a good point. Loftus-Cheek, I just feel deserves it. And Fabregas doesn't. We don't have a player in the team, I've said this to you before, we don't have a player who can literally connect. Sometimes, as we saw on Tuesday, Diego was isolated up front. He did a lot of good work, hold up play, but he was isolated, and we don't want the same thing happening to Falcao. Southampton are a very good passing team, but as well they're solid defensively. They can be, so they're going to set up well. So we need to have someone who can link the defence to the attack, and I think Loftus-Cheek, with his burst of pace, his strength, his ability, can get through and help us. So I just, why hasn't he been given a chance? And I just think he is so ready, along with Kennedy, just to be a first team player. He showed it against Walsall, right? The opposition wasn't that good. Same with Tel Aviv, but you've just got to throw him in there and see how he does, because we're never going to know if you don't play him. True. And what's the saying that you said? If you do the same thing over and over again, it's the definition of madness, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Exactly. So let's change something. Let's change it. Thank you all for watching. Quick score prediction. I would be optimistic. 2-0 Chelsea. 2-0. Okay, fair play. I'm gonna go 1-0. Just one goal, take 3 points and go home. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Probably in the 89th minute as well. But then we are. As well.
Thank you all for watching. That's our score predictions. Leave us your score predictions in the comments below. Who would you play as well? Would you drop Ivanovic? Most of you, I think, would say yes. Would you drop Fabregas as well? Who else would you drop? Who would you play? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe to 100% Chelsea. Check out all the social media links in the description below. And we will see you for all the fan cams after the game against Southampton. So come on the Blues, let's do this. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you later.